For, what, 100 years, there's been this one core belief in the car world. German engineering is king.
It was the gold standard.
Exactly. You think BMW, you think Mercedes, Volkswagen, you're thinking precision, power, the perfect combustion engine. They weren't just making cars, they were the benchmark.
But that's the thing. If you blinked, you missed it. That 100-year-old throne. It's not just wobbling anymore. It's actually collapsing.
And what we're seeing is this massive power shift in industrial history. The king is faltering, and the challenger is the one, nobody took seriously.
China, rising up like a hurricane.
That's what we're diving into today. The country that used to be known for, let's be honest, cheap copies, is now exporting more cars than Germany and Japan combined.
And here's the part that our sources really dig into, the uncomfortable truth. Germany didn't just get beaten in a fair race.
Yeah.
They sabotaged themselves. They literally handed over the blueprints to their own successor.
So our mission today is to pull that apart, piece by piece. How does the most respected auto nation on Earth fall so far so fast?
And you just have to look at the numbers to see how insane this flip is. Go back to, say, 2008.
Okay.
Germany was shipping almost 10 times more cars to China than China was sending to Germany. It was a one-way street.
And today?
Today, it's completely reversed. China is the world's #1 car exporter. The whole game has changed.
All right, let's get into it. The sources we've looked at point to this iron rule #1 of global business.
And it's brutally simple.
What is it?
You either build the future or you end up serving the people who do.
And Germany was trapped building the past?
Hopelessly loyal to it. Their whole focus, their obsession was perfecting the internal combustion engine. All the R&D, all the best engineers, it all went into making that machine just a little bit quieter, a little bit faster.
They were building mechanical masterpieces.
They were, and they were the best in the world at it. But that success, it became a trap. All their profits, their high-margin cash cows, were tied to combustion. Investing in EVs seemed risky, low margin.
While they were polishing the V8, China was building a totally new world.
A completely new ecosystem. They weren't trying to build a better engine. They were building the future. Huge EV factories, AI, software, energy storage, a whole different game.
Okay, so that brings up the big question. If Germany had all this incredible knowledge, how did China close that gap so incredibly fast?
Well, this is the part that German execs really don't like to talk about.
The dirty secret.
The dirty secret. China didn't steal the automotive crown. Germany sold it to them.
How?
It all goes back to the 2000s. The German brands, VW, BMW, Mercedes, they were desperate to get into the Chinese market. They saw billions in potential profits.
A massive untapped customer base.
Exactly. And China knew that, so they set a condition, a non-negotiable one.
Which was?
You want to sell cars here. You have to form a joint venture with a Chinese company. And you have to share your technology. All of it.
Wait, not just like a few patents?
No. We're talking the keys to the kingdom. Manufacturing processes, supply chain management, quality control systems, even the designs for the chassis and the engines.
That sounds like industrial suicide for short-term sales.
It was. China's strategy was methodical. First, they learned from the Germans, then they copied, then they improved, and now they're outperforming the teacher. They basically got a world-class education in building premium cars, paid for by the Germans themselves.
And by the time the Germans realized they'd created their biggest competitor, it was too late.
It was way too late. The dependency was already locked in. A total failure of long-term strategic thinking.
Wow. So that's the tech transfer. But that was just one mistake, right?
Yeah.
It was compounded by, what, arrogance?
Oh, sheer arrogance. It's all over the reports from that time. German executives were on record laughing at early EVs.
Calling them toys, glorified golf carts.
Exactly. They just couldn't imagine a world where their perfect engines weren't the pinnacle of automotive tech. They thought they were untouchable.
But the very definition of a car was changing under their feet. It stopped being about mechanical perfection.
And it started being about computer science. The future became EVs, batteries, autonomous driving, the software-defined vehicle.
And this is where Germany's strength became its biggest weakness.
A huge disconnect. Germany's corporate culture is built around mechanical engineers. They're amazing at optimizing a factory line, but the sources are blunt about this. They suck at software.
Culturally, they just don't have that DNA.
Right, and you see it in the product. A Chinese EV is basically a smartphone on wheels. It gets better over time with over-the-air updates, new features, bug fixes, performance boosts, all while it's sitting in your driveway.
Whereas with the German car, you still have to go to a dealer and pay them to unlock a feature, like a heated seat, that's already physically in the car.
It's a completely different mindset. One is about selling a constantly evolving service. The other is about selling a finished piece of hardware. China built computers you can drive. Germany kept building engines for a world that was vanishing.
Okay, so the software shift was a huge blow. But the final nail in the coffin seems to be the physical supply chain. This is where China didn't just compete, they created a chokehold.
This part is truly shocking. Think of the battery as the new engine.
It's the heart of the car.
It is. And Germany is almost totally dependent on China for it. We're talking about Chinese companies controlling something like 90% of the world's battery cell production.
90%.
And it goes deeper. They control the raw materials, too. 70% of the cathode materials, 85% of the anode materials. These are the fundamental building blocks of the battery.
So by controlling the materials, they control the price for everyone else.
For everyone. It's a crushing irony, isn't it? The great German auto industry now has to buy the single most important part of its future cars from its #1 rival.
And China uses that control.
Strategically, they practice vertical integration, they have stakes in the mines in Africa and South America, they refine the materials, they make the battery components, they assemble the packs, and they put them in the car. Often all under one giant company.
Which means they can absorb costs anywhere in that chain.
Precisely. If they want to drop the price of a car by $5,000 to win market share, they can. A German company buying all those components on the open market simply can't compete on cost.
And you see this in the factory scale, too, right?
Oh, absolutely. An average German plant might produce, 150,000 EVs a year?
Something like that.
A new Chinese gigafactory is designed for 500,000, maybe 1 million vehicles a year. They're built for pure scale, while the German factories, well, they're old. They were built for combustion engines, and converting them is slow and incredibly expensive.
Their greatest strength, that legacy, it became an anchor.
The heaviest anchor imaginable.
Let's talk about speed, because this seems to be another huge cultural gap. The German process versus the Chinese one.
It's bureaucracy versus agility. In Germany, our sources say a new design might go through 20 committees and 200 protocols before it's even approved.
Endless refinement on paper.
While the German engineers are debating the exact legal requirements for a side mirror, the Chinese company has already built a prototype, tested it, and started shipping the final model.
What's the time difference we're talking about here?
Germany took about 12 years to roll out its first really competitive EV lineup. 12 years. China launches a new competitive model every 5 to 7 months.
That's not a competition. One of the sources called it a massacre.
It is, and this brings up the cost threat, which is really China's nuclear option.
The $20,000 EV.
The globally competitive, feature-packed $20,000 EV. They can do this because they control every part of the cost stack, the battery, the chips, the labor. Germany, with its cost structure, cannot build a car like that profitably. It's impossible.
So at the end of the day, it's a difference in mindset.
Completely. Germany was loyal to its heritage, protecting the engine, building for pride. China is loyal to one thing, victory, winning the future, building for domination.
And the future customer doesn't seem to care about the old definitions of quality.
Not the younger ones, no. If you're under 30, you're not buying a car based on horsepower or torque. You're buying a tech product.
You want a giant touchscreen, you want apps, you want seamless updates.
You want to know if the AI assistant is any good. Germany is selling nostalgia, China is selling the future, and you can see this playing out right now in the next big race.
Autonomous driving.
Exactly. To build a good self-driving AI, you need data. Billions of miles of real-world driving data.
But Germany is hamstrung by privacy laws and regulations.
They're writing policy papers about data governance, while China is using its millions of cars to create the world's most advanced self-learning transportation brain. More data means better AI, and better AI means you dominate the market.
It's happening already. I mean, Chinese brands are opening these giant, flashy showrooms right in the middle of Berlin and Munich.
Right in their backyard. And German customers are walking in, and they're impressed. The Chinese cars are cheaper, they're smarter, they update faster, and honestly, a lot of them look more futuristic. The old myth of German is best is it's fading.
As we start to wrap this up, we have to touch on the moment it all started to crack.
Dieselgate.
That scandal just shattered the trust, didn't it?
It destroyed the global trust in German engineering integrity. And it forced them into the EV transition before they were ready. It was a panic move, a reaction. They had no vision, no battery supply, no control. They were already dependent on China before they even started.
And the predictions for the future are pretty grim for the legacy guys.
They're terrifying. Some analysts say by 2030, 1 out of every 2 cars sold in the world could be Chinese. By 2035, German auto giants might only survive if China allows them to.
So the harshest truth from all this, Germany isn't losing because China cheated.
No. Germany is losing because China worked harder, moved faster, and built momentum while Germany was busy protecting its past. Momentum always rewards the future.
So the final thought for you, listener, is this. The history books probably won't say China stole the crown. They'll say Germany handed it over. And if a country with that much engineering history can fall this fast by being too loyal to its own success, what other untouchable industry leaders out there right now are making the exact same mistake? That's the question.